JBN, we keep you informed. Manchester man shot dead at home. 29-year-old computer technician Reese Duncan was killed at his home in Allison District, Manchester yesterday. According to the Corporate Communications Unit (CCU) of the Constabulary, residents heard explosions about 8:30 p.m. and called the police. The responding officers said when they arrived, Duncan was seen on the ground with multiple gunshot wounds to his upper body. The police also said his hands were bound. Duncan was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. CCU said the investigation is ongoing. Witness says one of the accused confessed to 2011 double beheading, identified others involved. A key prosecution witness in the ongoing trial of the two accused of murdering former student of the Queen's School Joyce Lynch and her mother Charmaine Rattrin, Lauriston St. Catherine, in July 2011, yesterday morning took the stand in the Supreme Court in downtown Kingston. The witness, who was initially a suspect, had testified to having been picked up by the police in the aftermath of the killings and said he was the roommate of one of the accused, Adrian Campbell, who last week pleaded guilty to non-capital murder in the case. According to the witness, after being picked up by the police on July 26, 2011, he, along with Campbell, was taken to the Halfway Tree police station. He said they were then transferred to the Spanish Town police station and placed in the holding area, where we saw Hoppin Kemar Riley. The other accused on trial was also not pleaded guilty, being taken into custody by the police. Adrian Black's a friend, he told the court. The witness said on July 29, following questions he posed to Riley while in the holding area, Riley told him that Lynch and her mother had been killed because their family members had been responsible for the death of Scott, their neighbor. Them programmed their Labourite family to come kill Scott, so they're moving back on the mother and father. The witness said he was told by Riley, who said he named Campbell and another man has been involved in the killings. The witness, under questioning from the Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn, said he later told the police what he had been told by Riley because he wanted to have nothing to do with that kind of situation. "Me never want to get involved," he told the courtroom. Decomposed bodies of two women found in separate incidents. The bodies of two women were discovered in separate incidents in Clarendon and St. Catherine on Thursday. One of the deceased has been identified as Jamaica McKenzie of Mitchelltown in Clarendon. Reports from the police are that about 10:30 a.m., residents stumbled upon Mackenzie's body along a section of the Dawkins-Penman Road in Clarendon. The police were alerted, and on their arrival, the body was seen in an advanced state of decomposition. Mackenzie had been reported missing since last Saturday. Meanwhile, approximately half an hour later in St. Catherine, a female's body was discovered nude and also in an advanced state of decomposition. The woman remains unidentified. The body was found at about 11 a.m. at Marina Road in Portmore in the parish. Post-mortem examinations are to be conducted on both bodies to determine the causes of the deaths. Taximen wonder if their colleague was a goat thief. Colleagues of slain Stavlamar Westmoreland taximan Kerry Schooler's Grant are questioning whether he may have been involved in pre-dawn larceny. Grant's body was discovered in the presence of a herd of goats with one of the animals tied to his leg in a cane field in the parish on Monday. A number of his colleagues are now wondering if the 38-year-old may have been caught stealing the goats and was executed on the spot. However, others believe that he may have been killed in cold blood. One taxi operator, who just gave his name as Blacks, said that he has known Grant for years and does not know him as a goat thief. "A long time in our school as him live with him people in my Charlene district. I never really know him as that type of person who go around the place and steal people animals," he said. "When it comes to young girl, like him that, but me don't know if him has mixed up in a them animal thing there. Although you can't swear for nobody nowadays. But him that look funny for them shoot him so and then tie the goat pan him." Reports by the police are that on Monday evening, a cane farmer stumbled upon Grant's body lying beside his Nissan station wagon motor car in a cane field. He summoned the police. When the lawman arrived, Grant was discovered lying in a pool of blood with gunshot wounds to his head. The body was seen in the vicinity of a herd of goats, with one of the animals tied to one of his feet. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue for post-mortem. The Westmoreland police are investigating. Serious crimes dragnet bags more than 30 suspects across the island. The police high command has announced that it has stepped up its investigations against persons believed to be behind some major criminal activities, plus other crimes across the island. The police said in its latest initiative they have apprehended more than 30 persons, several of whom are wanted or persons of interest. The police say in the latest drive they have made arrests in each geographical police areas across the island over recent months. The latest initiative has been led by the Criminal Investigation CIB headquarters and operationalized by detectives. The strategic arrests include in Area 1, the St. James Police conducted operations in areas of Bessie Baker District, Chester Castle, Paradise, and Norwood in St. James, where a man was arrested for rape. A person of interest was taken into custody for breaches of the Law Reform Fraudulent Transactions Special Provisions Act of 2013. A man was taken into custody for reasonable suspicion of harboring a fugitive. 2 men were taken into custody for reasonable suspicion of human trafficking and the possession of access device. In Area 2, the St. Mary Police arrested a man in relation to murder. 3 men who were listed as wanted for the offences of shop breaking and larceny and possession and dealing in ganja were arrested at Woodstock Housing Scheme in Portland. 10 bench warrants were also executed and 5 persons arrested for breaches of the Road Traffic Act. In Area 3, a female was arrested in Manchester on a bench warrant for the offence of larceny as a servant. A male was also arrested on an affiliation warrant in the sum of $226,000 for affiliation or child maintenance in Georges Valley in the parish. In Rum Lane, Chateau Clarendon, a man was detained as a suspect in a murder case in the Bahamas. The St. Elizabeth Police arrested a man on suspicion of having sexual intercourse with a person under the age of 16 years. 2 men were also arrested as persons of interest in relation to robberies. In Area 4, the Kingston Western Police arrested 1 person who was listed as being wanted for the offence of burglary and assault at common law at Penn Street, Admiraltown in the parish. 3 persons of interest in relation to other major crimes were also detained. 4 persons of interest were arrested in Franklin Town in relation to robberies by the Kingston Eastern Police. In St. Andrew Central, a man who was wanted for murder was taken into custody along with 2 persons of interest. 3 persons were also detained in connection with the seizure of an M16 magazine containing 10 5.56 mm cartridges, an Uzi submachine gun, and 13 9 mm cartridges were seized by the St. Andrew South Police following a fatal shooting in the Kingston 13 area. In Area 5, a man was listed as a person of interest in relation to robbery and 3 counts of rape was arrested in Treadways district in St. Catherine. Another man was also arrested in Linstead by the St. Catherine North Police for possession and dealing in cocaine. The police have withheld the identities of the persons referred to above who are now in custody. Cornwall College principal assaulted by mother of student. The principal of Cornwall College was allegedly forced to ditch his jacket as an irate woman tried to force him to provide an explanation for the suspension of her son. The dispute escalated when the mother got into a tussle with security guards who tried to forcefully remove her from the compound. While repeated attempts to get the principal Michael Ellis' account of the incident failed, as repeated calls to his cellular phone went unanswered, the mother admitted to grabbing his jacket. According to the woman, she went to the Montego Bay-based school to get an explanation as to why her 15-year-old son, who is a grade 10 student, had been suspended for 10 days without the school making any contact with her about any disciplinary issues with him. In seeking to give insight into what might have led to her son's suspension, she claimed that 2 teachers, one with whom her son had a long-standing issue, tried to lure him into an isolated classroom and he refused. She said her son instead went to the main office where one of the teachers accosted him and accused him of being disrespectful. It is my understanding that the teacher made a report to the principal, who then suspended my son and didn't make any contact with me. I went there to find out what had caused the suspension, not to make trouble, the woman said. According to the woman, when she went to speak to the principal, he refused to entertain her, saying that he would only have dialogue with her after her son's suspension had run its course. Ellis was walking away and I grabbed his jacket, which he backed off in my hands. I know I was wrong to grab his jacket, but I meant no harm. I just wanted to talk to him about the situation with my son, the mother said. The mother said that after she grabbed the principal's jacket, she was attacked by 2 security guards. The security guards them come and start grab me and we get into a tussle. Me hand even get injured. They were trying to put me off the compound and then the police came. I gave the police my name and left, said the woman, who subsequently went to the Ministry of Education's Regional 4 office to report the matter. The Montego Bay Police were not able to say whether a formal report was made to them by their principal. 2 water shops to be built in Portland. Portland is the latest parish to benefit under the government's initiative to construct water shops as a means of addressing the water needs of residents in drought-affected communities across Jamaica. 2 facilities will be built in the parish at a cost of approximately $19.5 million. Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie broke ground for the establishment of the first water shop in the community of Commodore on Friday. Speaking to JIS News after the groundbreaking, McKenzie said that an announcement will be made at a later date as to the location of the other facility. He noted that the water shop to be built in Commodore will serve more than 1,000 residents. What this water shop will do is house 20,000 gallons of water that will be provided free of cost to the community. It will be similar to the ones that we have built across the country in St. Elizabeth, Manchester and Clarendon, he said. He told JIS News that construction is expected to commence shortly and will last about 2 months. Before February next year, this will be fully operational, he said. Commodore resident Donna Burgess said that the water shop will provide community members with reliable access to water. The groundbreaking ceremony was part of a series of engagements in the parish by the ministry in partnership with the Portland Municipal Corporation. We just opened a swing bridge. We're spending some $45 million at the Portland Infirmary, and we're doing a number of roads across this section of Portland. The councillors have made the necessary representations, and we have listened to the people, and we're responding, McKenzie said. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.